You can spend months watching videos about cheaper college, save posts about scholarships, compare Sophia with study.com, read about CLEP, discover a free tuition program in your state, and still be sitting in exactly the same place a year from now. At some point, research has to turn into movement. That is what this chapter is about. Not another provider. Not another list of colleges. Not another scholarship database. By now, you know enough to understand that the traditional path is not the only path. You know transfer credit can reduce the number of courses you complete at the university. You know Sophia, study.com, Straighterline, CLEP, and DSST can become useful when your receiving school accepts the credit for an actual degree requirement. You know federal aid, state programs, institutional scholarships, private awards, and tuition promises can sometimes be combined to reduce the cost of the remaining degree. Now you need to build your plan. And I don't mean the imaginary plan in your head where you graduate in 12 months, earn 90 transfer credits, win 6 scholarships, and somehow work full-time while completing 4 courses every weekend. I mean the real plan. The one based on your school. Your degree. Your remaining requirements. Your state. Your financial aid eligibility. Your available time. And the amount of work you can actually finish. The original College Credit Playbook ends its main strategy by turning everything from the earlier chapters into a repeatable process. The manuscript begins with an application kit, then moves through choosing a path, verifying eligibility, filing financial aid applications, applying to the college, obtaining a degree audit, planning alternative credit, transferring completed coursework, stacking aid, and checking the degree evaluation repeatedly until the remaining requirements reach 0. The order matters. Most students want to begin with the exciting part. They want to open Sophia tonight. They want to register for CLEP. They want to find the fastest course on Reddit. They want a list of 30 classes they can finish in 1 month. That's backwards. Before you earn another credit, build one folder. Call it your college application kit. Put your identification documents where you can access them securely. Know where your social security information or eligible non-citizen documentation is located when an official process requires it. Gather the tax documents needed for financial aid. Make sure you have access to your federal student aid account if you're completing the FAFSA. If your state uses a separate aid system, create or recover that account too. Find your high school transcript or GED information. Make a list of every college you've attended. Yes, every college. That community college where you took 1 class. The university you left after a semester. The online school you enrolled in and forgot about. If an institution requires all prior college transcripts, I didn't think that one mattered is not a good strategy. Find the records. If you've completed alternative credit, identify where the official record is held. Depending on the provider and current transfer process, that may involve the provider itself, an ACE-related transcript process, or another official transcript service accepted by your receiving institution. Do not assume a completion certificate is the same thing as an official transcript. The screenshot on your phone saying congratulations is not automatically the document your registrar needs. Find out how the credit must be sent. Then create a simple resume. This is not because every college application will ask for one. You're going to use it for scholarships. You may use it for program applications. You may need it for a work-study job. You may need it when asking someone for a recommendation. Save one clean PDF. Then write a short paragraph about yourself. Who are you? What are you studying? What career are you pursuing? Why are you completing the degree now? What do you hope to do with it? Don't try to write the greatest scholarship essay in human history. You need source material. You will refine it later. The manuscript recommends keeping a resume and a short reusable about me paragraph inside the application kit because scholarship and aid applications repeatedly request versions of the same information. Then build a deadline calendar. This is where the plan becomes real. FAFSA. State aid. College application. Promise program. Scholarship. Transcript. Registration. Payment. Service hours. Mentoring. Financial aid verification. Graduation application. If a date can cost you money, put it on the calendar. You should not be relying on memory. You already have school, work, children, appointments, bills, life. The financial aid office does not extend a deadline because your brain had too many browser tabs open. Put it on the calendar. Now you have the application kit. The next decision is your path. Choose your state. Choose the college or colleges you're seriously considering. Choose the degree. If you do not know the degree yet, stop trying to build an aggressive alternative credit plan. You don't know what you're accelerating toward. This is one of the few places where slowing down can save you months. A student says, "I just want to get my general education out of the way." Fine. General education for which degree at which school? The answer matters. A Bachelor of Science in Nursing may have a very different science sequence from a Bachelor of Business Administration. A Health Information Management program may require statistics and information technology. A computer science degree may require calculus. A liberal arts degree may have broad elective space. The phrase general education makes college requirements sound universal. They are not always universal. Choose a target. The manuscript's action plan says that if you're undecided, a lower-cost community college with a clear transfer pathway can be a practical starting point. But the transfer pathway is the important part. Don't choose the community college because it's nearby and assume the university will sort everything out later. Find the destination university. Find the bachelor's program. Find the articulation agreement or transfer guide. Then work backward. What associate degree aligns with the bachelor's program? Which community college courses transfer? Which courses satisfy major prerequisites? Which requirements can be completed through approved alternative credit? Now you have a path. If you're already enrolled in a university, your job is easier. Open the degree evaluation. The degree audit. Academic progress report. Whatever your school calls it. You need to see every remaining requirement. If you can't find it, ask advising. The manuscript recommends requesting a degree audit and written information about the institution's alternative credit equivalencies before building the acceleration plan. Written information matters. A phone conversation can be helpful. But 6 months later, when you're trying to remember whether the advisor said Introduction to Statistics or College Statistics, your memory may suddenly become creative. Save the email. Save the transfer chart. Save the catalog year. Save a PDF of the degree evaluation. Then create your transfer worksheet. You do not need special software. A spreadsheet is enough. Start with the requirement. English Composition I. Statistics. Social Science. Humanities. Natural Science. Free elective. Major requirement. Upper level major elective. Capstone. Next column, credits required. 3, 4, 6. Whatever the degree says. Next, status. Complete. In progress. Remaining. Then, intended credit source. University. Community college. Sophia. Study.com. Straighter line. CLEP. DSST. Previous college. Other approved source. Then write the exact course or exam. Not Sophia Math. Which math course? Not CLEP History. Which exam? Not Study.com Business. Which course? You need exact names because duplicate credit can hide behind vague labels. Suppose you completed Introduction to Psychology through Sophia. Then you take the CLEP Introductory Psychology exam. Your college may consider those equivalent. You may receive credit once. You completed 2 learning experiences and filled 1 requirement. That is not acceleration. That is duplication. The manuscript's planning system repeatedly emphasizes mapping each alternative course or exam to a specific degree requirement before starting it. Add an expected equivalency column. What does your school say the course becomes? Sci 101? Math 240? English 101? General elective credit? Lower level transfer elective? Write it down. Then add a verification column. Verified. Needs confirmation. Rejected. Do not use probably. Probably is not a transfer status. If your school has a current published equivalency, save it. If the policy is unclear, ask. If the advisor tells you to contact the registrar, contact the registrar. If the registrar tells you the academic department evaluates the course, contact the department. Yes, this can be annoying. It is less annoying than completing 12 courses your degree does not need. Now add cost. How much will this requirement cost through the university? How much through the verified alternative? Don't compare an entire Sophia subscription with one university course unless you're considering how many useful courses you can realistically finish during the subscription period. Calculate the actual plan. Suppose Sophia costs a monthly subscription amount under its current pricing. You have 6 verified Sophia courses available for your degree. Can you realistically complete 6 in 1 month? Maybe. Can you realistically complete 2? Then budget based on 2. Do not build your financial plan around the fastest person you found online. You do not know their job, their family responsibilities, their educational background, whether they slept, whether they actually learned anything, whether their school accepted the credits. Your pace is your pace. The best acceleration plan is the one you finish. Now rank your remaining requirements. Start with the easiest verified wins. I don't mean easiest academically. I mean the clearest. The school accepts the course. The requirement is open. The course does not duplicate existing credit. You have room under the transfer limit. The format fits your learning style. You can complete it. That's a clean target. Maybe it's sociology through Sophia. Maybe it's a CLEP exam in a subject you already know. Maybe it's a study.com course filling one specialized business requirement. Maybe it's a straighter-line science prerequisite your program has already approved. Choose the first target. Then choose the second. I would not build a list of 30 active courses. Build a queue. Current. Next. Later. The current course is what you're working on now. The next course is already verified and ready when you finish. Later contains the other planned requirements. This stops you from wasting an hour deciding what to do every time you complete something. You finish the current course. You send the transcript if appropriate. You move the next course into current. You begin. The plan keeps moving. Now we need to bring financial aid back into the process. Before changing your university enrollment, verify the funding rules. This matters. Suppose you discover you can complete 3 requirements through alternative credit. You immediately drop 3 university courses. Your enrollment changes. Your financial aid may change. Your state promise program may require a certain number of institutional credits. Your scholarship may require full-time status. You may create a return of funds issue if the term has already started. Do not treat alternative credit like a chainsaw. You don't start cutting pieces off your schedule without looking at the structure. Ask financial aid how the enrollment change affects your package. Ask the promise program whether outside credit counts toward its enrollment or annual pace rules. Ask advising how the transfer credit affects the degree. These are different offices answering different questions. The manuscript specifically separates academic transfer planning from aid eligibility and warns students to preserve required enrollment status, satisfactory academic progress, service obligations, and annual FAFSA requirements. Once the enrollment and funding plan are clear, file the required aid applications. If you're using federal aid, complete the FAFSA through the official federal student aid process. If your state has a separate application, complete it. If you're eligible for a promise or tuition guarantee program, submit whatever additional form is required. Then watch the portal. Your student portal is now part of your routine. Check the financial aid section. Check the to-do list. Check messages. Check registration holds. Check transcript status. If the school asks for verification, respond. The manuscript's action plan recommends resolving financial aid verification tasks quickly rather than allowing them to sit unanswered. This is one of the least glamorous ways to protect your money. Open the message. Send the document. Now go back to the degree plan. You have your first alternative credit target. Complete it. Then send the official record through the process your receiving school requires. And this is where students make another mistake. They assume the work is done. You finished the course. Congratulations. Did the college receive it? Did the registrar evaluate it? Did the credit post? Where did it post? Did it satisfy the requirement? You need 4 separate answers. Completion is not the end. Posting is the end. Suppose you complete a statistics course. The transcript arrives. The university awards 3 transfer credits. You celebrate. Then you open the degree evaluation. Statistics is still sitting there as incomplete. The 3 credits landed under free electives. You did not solve the problem you intended to solve. Maybe the school made an evaluation error. Maybe you took the wrong course. Maybe the department requires a different statistics class. Whatever happened, you need to know now. Not during graduation review. The manuscript's final strategy is brutally simple: verify, send, post, then repeat until the degree audit shows no remaining requirements. That is the loop. Verify. Complete. Send. Post. Check. Repeat. Every course. Every exam. Every transcript. Every time. You are creating a closed system. Nothing disappears into the vague category of "I think I did that." Your spreadsheet says the requirement. Your provider says complete. Your transcript says sent. Your school says received. Your degree evaluation says satisfied. Done. Then you move on. Now let's add scholarships. You already built the scholarship file in the financial aid chapter. You have a resume. A short biography. Career goal material. Academic information. A spreadsheet. Set a schedule. Maybe every Friday you search your university's scholarship system. Maybe twice a month you check your department. Maybe every Sunday you submit 2 private scholarship applications. The exact schedule is yours. But scholarships should run in the background while the academic plan moves forward. You do not stop earning credit for 6 months while you hunt for one scholarship. You do both. Course in progress. Scholarship applications in progress. Financial aid monitored. Degree evaluation updated. This is how the stack works. The manuscript's final process recommends combining Pell and state grants, promise or guarantee funding, institutional scholarships, private scholarships, and lower-cost transfer credit rather than waiting for a single source to pay for everything. Let's build an example. A student has 72 credits remaining in a bachelor's degree. They open the degree evaluation. 27 of the remaining credits are general education and free electives. 15 credits are lower-level major or support courses. 30 credits must be completed at the university because of residency, upper-level, and program requirements. The student confirms that 21 general education and elective credits can be completed through Sophia. 6 credits can be completed through 2 CLEP exams. 9 credits are available through approved study.com courses. 6 credits may be completed at a local community college under an established transfer equivalency. 30 credits remain at the university. Now look at the plan. The student did not ask, "How fast can I get 90 Sophia credits?" The student asked, "How do I satisfy these 72 remaining credits?" Every source has a job. Sophia handles 21. CLEP handles 6. Study.com handles 9. Community college handles 6. The university handles 30. 72 requirements accounted for. Now calculate cost. Then add aid. Maybe Pell Grant applies to the eligible university enrollment. Maybe the state has a promise or grant program. Maybe the university awards a scholarship. Maybe the student's employer provides tuition reimbursement. The outside alternative credits may need to be paid separately because they are not covered by the student's institutional financial aid package. Fine. Calculate that. Suppose the student spends several $100s completing the alternative credit portion but avoids tens of thousands of dollars in university tuition. Now we have a real comparison. But what if the student only has $500 available right now? Prioritize. Which low-cost credits can be completed first? Which aid applications are open? Can the employer pay for university courses while the student pays for alternative credit? Is there a community college option? Does modern states currently offer support connected to CLEP preparation and exam costs under its current program rules? Can a small scholarship cover books, freeing personal money for alternative credit? The plan is a puzzle. Move the pieces. Now let's talk about time. You need a completion calendar. Do not simply write graduate next year. Break the remaining requirements into months. July. 2 verified alternative courses. August. 1 alternative course and prepare for 1 CLEP exam. September. University term begins. Complete 2 university courses and 1 manageable outside course if the workload allows. October. Scholarship applications and 1 planned exam. November. University courses. December. Transcript review and degree audit update. Your schedule will look different. The point is to assign work to time. If you have 45 remaining credits and want to graduate in 12 months, the calendar will show whether your plan is realistic. 45 credits in 12 months is not a motivational quote. It is approximately 11 or 12 3-credit courses plus additional credit. Where are those courses going? Which months? Which providers? Which university terms? Which exams? Put them on the calendar. You may discover the plan is possible. You may discover you need 18 months. Good. Now you know. A realistic 18-month plan is better than a fantasy 12-month plan you abandon after 8 weeks. The manuscript's final chapter recommends batching related work, placing deadlines and exam bookings on a calendar, using summer terms strategically, and documenting posted credits and award letters. Batching can save time. If you have several scholarship applications, update your resume once. Gather transcripts once. Request recommendations early. If you're completing study.com assignments, set aside a writing block. If you need to schedule proctored exams, check the calendar and book them. If several completed alternative courses are ready for transcript submission, follow the school's process and track them together. But don't batch confusion. 5 unverified courses completed quickly are still 5 potential problems. Verify first. Then move. Summer deserves special attention. Students treat summer like an academic bonus round. It can be much more strategic. A summer term may help you maintain the pace required by a state scholarship. It may allow you to complete a prerequisite before fall. It may let you take a difficult course with a lighter overall schedule. It may give you time to complete alternative credit while you're not balancing a full university load. Or it may be the term you need to rest. Yes, rest can be strategic. If you're exhausted, failing courses to preserve an aggressive timeline can cost more than taking a planned break. Know your aid rules. Know your academic pace. Then decide. This brings us to satisfactory academic progress. If you're using financial aid, you need to understand your school's SAP policy. The manuscript's final checklist describes SAP as a combination of GPA and completion pace and recommends addressing problems quickly when eligibility is threatened. Do not wait until you lose aid to learn what SAP means. Find the policy. What GPA must you maintain? What percentage of attempted credits must you complete? What is the maximum time frame for completing the degree? How are withdrawals treated? How are repeated courses treated? How do transfer credits affect the calculation? Read your school's policy. Then protect it. The fastest graduation plan collapses if you lose the funding keeping you enrolled. Now let's talk about falling behind. Because you probably will at some point. You will plan to finish a course in 7 days. It takes 3 weeks. You schedule a CLEP exam and realize you are not ready. Your child gets sick. Your work schedule changes. You move. Your computer dies. You burn out. Something happens. The plan is not ruined. Update the plan. Move the course. Change the exam date if the current rules and scheduling process allow it. Reduce the next month's workload. Recalculate the graduation target. What you should not do is disappear from your own education for 6 months because one deadline slipped. A plan is allowed to change. The destination remains. This is why I want the spreadsheet. When your life gets chaotic, you do not need to reconstruct your entire degree from memory. Open the sheet. Current requirement. Next requirement. Remaining requirements. Start again. The manuscript calls its final stage rinse, shorten, graduate. The process is to continue completing approved alternative credit and test out options where permitted, finish the residency courses that must remain at the college, and eventually ask the advisor to begin the graduation process when the degree requirements are complete. That sounds almost too simple. It is simple. It is not always easy. The complexity comes from the policies. Transfer caps. Residency. Financial aid. State programs. Equivalencies. Deadlines. Prerequisites. Upper-level requirements. But once you have verified those rules, the work becomes repetitive. Complete. Send. Check. Repeat. Let's say you complete Sophia's Introduction to Sociology and your school has confirmed the course satisfies its sociology requirement. You finish. Send the official transcript through the required process. Wait for evaluation. Open the degree audit. Sociology is satisfied. Mark the row complete. Next. You prepare for CLEP College Algebra. Your school accepts the exam at the required score for its mathematics requirement. You prepare. You test. Your score meets the requirement. The official score reaches the school. The mathematics requirement disappears. Mark the row complete. Next. You complete a study.com business course. The school evaluates it. It lands in free electives instead of the business requirement you expected. Stop. Do not immediately start the next study.com course. Find out what happened. Was the equivalency outdated? Did you misunderstand the degree requirement? Did the registrar make an error? Is departmental approval required? Fix the problem. Then continue. That is the system protecting you. Speed is not how many courses you finish. Speed is how quickly the correct requirements disappear. I want you to remember that. A student who completes 12 random courses in 3 months may be moving slower than a student who completes 6 carefully selected courses. Count the degree requirements removed. That is your metric. Now, if you want to begin tonight, the manuscript includes what it calls a 90-minute start checklist. The basic sequence is to create the application kit, begin the FAFSA process where applicable, apply to the target college and activate the student portal, request the degree audit and current alternative credit equivalencies, enroll at the institutional credit load required for any funding program, and then begin verified alternative coursework. I would make one adjustment. Do not start 2 alternative courses tonight unless you have already verified them. If you have verified them, go. If you haven't, build the worksheet tonight. You can still move. Movement is not always completing a course. Sometimes movement is eliminating the possibility of wasting one. Open the degree evaluation. Create the spreadsheet. List the requirements. Find the school's transfer policy. Find the residency requirement. Find the transfer cap. Check Sophia. Check study.com. Check StraighterLine. Check CLEP. Check DSST. Mark possible options. Then verify the strongest targets. By the end of the night, you may have your next 10 courses mapped. That is progress. Tomorrow, start the first one. And when you finish, do not celebrate for 3 weeks. Mark it complete. Send the record. Check the degree. Then start the next requirement. You have already spent enough time waiting for semesters to begin. Waiting for registration. Waiting for the right time. Waiting until you have more money. Waiting until work slows down. Waiting until the kids are older. Waiting until you feel motivated. The entire strategy in this book exists because the standard college timeline does not fit everyone. You may be 13 and trying to earn college credit before high school graduation. You may be 22 and trying to avoid another year of tuition. You may be 38 and returning to finish the degree you left years ago. You may be 60 and finally doing something you've wanted to do your entire life. The process still begins the same way. Choose the destination. Read the rules. Map the requirements. Find the approved options. Protect the funding. Complete the work. Verify the credit. Repeat. You do not need to complete your entire degree tonight. You need to identify the next requirement. Then remove it. After that, remove another. A degree that looks impossible at 120 credits feels different when 60 credits are already complete. 60 feels different when the degree audit says 45. 45 feels different when 3 transfer courses post and the number becomes 36. Eventually, you are not trying to get a degree. You are finishing 4 classes. Then 2. Then a capstone. Then the audit reaches 0. That is where this plan is headed. Not toward collecting alternative credits. Not toward becoming an expert on Sophia. Not toward taking every CLEP exam. Not toward winning the internet argument about which platform is fastest. The goal is 0 remaining requirements. Build the plan around that number. Then start.